Oh, I really, really love Olivia's songs.
Just have to stay forever.
I just like love her lyrics. Kia ora and welcome. My name's OliviaRodrigo and I'm your vocal coach for today. We're going to be taking a look at OliviaRodrigo with DropDead at Saturday Night Live. She's an incredible performer and singer, and I just cannot wait to see what she's up to with this new album. Haven't heard the song at all. Yes, I live under a rock. So let's see what she's up to.
Ladies and gentlemen, OliviaRodrigo.
I know that the bar closes at 11, but I hope you never finish that beer. You know all the words to Just Like Heaven.
Oh, I really, really love Olivia's songs, and I think she's just such a fantastic songwriter. But also I love the way that she sounds. She just literally she sounds like she is, yeah? So I am but a heaven. I literally never heard this song before, but the melody sticks in my head. So she's almost like speaking on pitch in that moment, which means basically there's a thicker vocal fold. And that way you can see she's so close to the microphone. This very, very, very low volume.
I hope you never finish that beer. You know all the words to Just Like Heaven, and I know why he wrote them all, that you're standing right here.
So we heard that of that her mouth opening, so that just goes to show us how far that microphone is turned up and how quiet she's actually singing. So I wrote all the I know you know just like heaven. So when she's introducing that breath, it just means the vocal folds are opening ever so slightly. There's actually a pulling back of the volume in that moment. It's really important when we're singing with breath.
You're standing right here. Oh, one night I was bored in bed and stalked you on the internet. Feminine intuition, always had a vision of us standing like this. Pressed up in the bathroom floor.
Okay, this is very interesting. Firstly, I love the lyrics. So, we've got that change from the thicker vocal fold into the stiff. And stiff vocal folds is what I call, well, it's not what I call falsetto, it's what we as singing teachers call falsetto. And it's where the vocal folds actually become stiff in that moment. There's very little of them touching, and that's what creates that kind of hooty sound. It's a great effect. Actually, it's the main technical thing, like with yodeling.
Oh, one night I was bored in bed and stalked you on the internet. Feminine intuition, always had a vision of us standing like this.
So this is very much, we know that Olivia is like a big belter. So I've got my little keyboard in front of me. So she's utilizing that the on that G4 is sitting below her passaggio and the B4 is sitting above. That creates a really lovely switch, which is much, much easier when we allow the chest voice to sit below the passaggio and the falsetto to sit above the passaggio.
Always had a vision of us standing like this.
So always had a vision of a stand. Much, much easier when we have that placement of the sound and of the notes. It's really important that you change the key of these songs. So that's meaning like how high or how low the song is. You must change it to actually fit your voice, because this fits hers, might not fit your voice.
Pressed up in the bathroom floor, looking like an angel on the walls of Versailles, the most alive I've ever been.
So can you That's that falsetto with a bit of twang being used. You hear this so often on, I do keep up with, what other vocal coaches are saying out there. The twang is like being way, way overutilized. Which is cool because I know that that's Olivia's sound that she's going for, and she can create those sounds and like make that decision for herself. But I want you to know that you don't have to necessarily use twang in order to go to that part of the range. But if you're going to have breathy with that kind of volume, you must use twang. I feel like I just contradicted myself, but let's just go back on that. She's got a very high like chest voice, like a looking like an angel on the roads of Versailles. We're up on that C5, which is for a lot of people for that chest voice register very, very high. But she's got a high larynx. She's breathing really high. Let's watch that again because I want you to really watch her breathing. Punch to the gut. You're so pretty, boy. I'm paranoid. I'll meet you up. Yeah, I'd love it if you walk me home. If you promise we can go real slow. Cause I've got chewing gum and a bunch of stuff I'd like to know. Like, I just like love her lyrics. I just really feel like she's very similar to Taylor Swift in the fact she's saying what's going on in her life, and it's just so relatable. It's just so cool. So let's just go back on the end of this chorus. That's not in that chest voice. My drop dead. Low volume, introducing that falsetto back in again, because it's not always just about like full pelting with this like really loud sound. And I feel like I might throw up. Left hook, right punch to the gut. You're so pretty, boy. I'm paranoid. I'll meet you up. Yeah, I'd love it if you walk me home. If you promise we can go real slow. Cause I've got chewing gum and a bunch of stuff I'd like to know. Like, have you ever been to Japan or taken a Eurostar to France? I've been dropping hints all night, but I'd love it if you held my hand. God damn. And then maybe we could make out. Close off and fall to the ground. So we're basically hearing her almost like speak out. Don't be afraid in this part of the song to essentially just speak on pitch. She's coloring the sound by using those slack vocal folds, which is the slowest movement of the vocal folds can make, or she's using those like little sighs and allowing the larynx to raise and kind of changing the melody. It's almost, she's essentially just speaking on pitch in this point. And then maybe we could make out. Close off and fall to the ground. Let's go steady, let's go out and tell the whole damn world. One night I was bored in bed, stalked you on the internet. Feminine intuition, always had a vision, understanding like this. Oh, that's so cool. So, she's essentially she's doing exactly the same thing again. We've got that thicker vocal fold going into that false. Stalk you on the internet. But I want you to see the way that she's holding the mouth shape here. Now, when we're learning to sing, we want to use these types of videos as a guide and as a potential option, but we're never actually looking at them and going like, oh yeah, she's holding her mouth like that. We know that she is like a big belter from way, way back. So this is a very comfortable part of her range. Can you hear that? Feminine intuition. That actually helps us to swap into, with that more closed vowel of the feminine intuition, helps us to swap into that falsetto when we have a slightly more closed mouth there. Feminine intuition, always had a vision, understanding like this. Pressed up in the bathroom light, looking like an angel on the walls of Versailles. Most alive. Can you come back? falsetto with a whole bunch of twang put through it. But then she goes, feeling like an angel on the walls of Versailles. It's actually quite difficult for us to go. I mean, look, I don't doubt that she couldn't do it, but it is quite difficult for us to go from a thicker vocal fold. Sorry, it's quite difficult for us to go from that falsetto sound into a thicker vocal fold. So maybe that's why she's adding a little bit of twang.
Gemini, but I think we might go really nice together if you let me stay the night. Well, I think we might just have to stay forever. Pisces and a Gemini, but I think we might go really nice together if you.
And now she's going to show us what she can do, which is to take that chest voice up further. So we're Pisces and a Gemini. Now we're going to bring in that thicker vocal fold, lots more thyroid tilt in order to go higher in the range. But can you hear that? Larynx is coming up, Pisces and a Gemini. Really important if we're taking this sound higher in the range, we must take the larynx with us.
Go really nice together if you let me stay the night. I might just have to stay forever.
Actually, I said it's high, so I might have to stay forever. So it's actually up on that C5, which for a lot of voices, this is going to be high in the range. So what it is you've got to make sure that you're doing a really, really short, sharp, high breath. You can see that with her there. High larynx, and we're not over pressurizing the vocal folds.
Just have to stay forever. Stalked you on the internet. It's feminine.
Honestly, this is just like quite a fun song. It is very much going through. I like the way that she's sort of found that sort of like punk kind of angsty teen kind of sound.
Stalked you on the internet. It's feminine intuition. I always had a vision of us standing right there. Crossed our finger, bathroom light. You like an angel, all the Versailles.
Yeah, okay, because it goes up to the D5. So, admittedly, this will be extremely difficult for a lot of people to not just like yell this out. So I want to give you a little tip. Okay, we're doing a short, sharp, high breath. High larynx. And I want you to think like it's a really annoying kind of sound that you're having a bit of a complaint, because that's going to help us to bring on that thyroid tilt. But this sort of thing is actually really important that we build it up. Okay, I could vocal coach you through a couple of tips, and I do actually vocal coach people for auditions if you're like needing to sing this tomorrow. But I want you to learn like long-lasting vocal technique, and that's why I also then put on my singing teacher hat, and I will show you step by step on how you can build up to this sound, because it isn't just about me going like, raise your larynx. We need to like learn how to do that, and that's what we do through the Vocal Academy through 1-to-1 tuition. It's really important to make sure that you are getting what your voice needs and that you actually feel like you are making progress, because I'm giving you the step-by-step path of what to actually do. So many students come into the studio and they're like, Zoe, I just want to be told what to do so I can learn to sing better. Welcome. I will tell you what to do so that you can sing better, so that you can sing this high, because I mean, this takes training. So let's just go back on that. Okay, I said, kiss me and I might. Actually, I said that there was a lot of thyroid tilt in the sound, but I have to be honest, I'm not really 100% sure. We're not hearing a lot of vibrato. This doesn't sound super, super sung. We do need the thyroid tilt in order to take those thicker vocal folds further up, but it's not like, kiss me and I glide, which we would hear typically that we would release into the vibrato then at the end. I think she's keeping this very, very straight tone.
Kiss me and I might drop dead.
Kiss me and I might drop dead. So we've got the thicker vocal folds going on there as we kiss me and I might drop dead. So I keep on saying so important. It is really important when you're singing this type of music to like almost not over sing it. And that's why it's important to get that to work out the thyroid tilt, how much you're wanting in it, but the thicker vocal folds. Because I'm saying this from my perspective of like having taught this stuff for about 18 years. But I am really, really aware that it is extremely difficult in order to get this sort of sound. And you want to know like why you're sounding that way and how you can sound that way. So I actually have a freebie for you. Find your chest voice challenge down in the description below. We don't go quite that high, but it is about focusing on finding that sound in the lower part of the range. So if you want to check out some more OliviaRodrigo, check it out up here. And I would love it. Do me a huge favor, subscribe to the channel so that we can hang out more often and talk all about vocal technique so that I can help you learn more about how to create these sounds in your own voice. And I'd love to do that. So, anyone can learn to sing. It's just about learning like how. Ka kite anō.